everyone, I'm Shagun Agarwal, and in today's video we are going to cover the chapter Study from the book Limitless by Jim Kwik. In this book, he talks about various techniques which will help you study better, and that can be studying anything for any age group. The author of the book, Jim Kwik, is known for his work as a brain coach to celebrities, entrepreneurs, and professionals, helping them unlock their full potential. In the field of self-help books, this book, Limitless, is one of the best-selling books on Forbes, Times, and other magazines. It has 4.6 rating out of 5 on Amazon, with raving reviews from people who have implemented all the strategies that this book talks about. This book has over 6,000 reviews in total. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 7 techniques from the book Limitless that will help you unlock your true potential and will let you enhance your brain and memory capacity. Remember, being a lifelong learner is a superpower that can propel you towards success in all the areas of your life, be it if you're a student or a professional. Now let's delve into a real life story which talks about Jim's own experiences from his own life, which says how he implemented all of these study techniques to become a lifelong learner and to learn anything quickly. So let's begin. One fine afternoon, as Jim was meticulously preparing for an upcoming conference, he received an unexpected phone call. On the other end of the line was a harried event organizer seeking a last-minute replacement for a keynote speaker who had fallen ill. The conference was just a day away, and the organizers were desperately searching for someone to fill the prestigious spot. Without missing a beat, the event organizer pleaded with Jim to save the day. They explained how crucial the keynote was to the success of the entire conference, and they believed that Jim's expertise would be a perfect fit. Initially taken aback by the sudden request, Jim hesitated for a moment, weighing the pros and cons of accepting the last-minute opportunity. But deep down, Jim's love for sharing knowledge and empowering audiences won over his doubts. Knowing that he had the power to make a positive impact, he graciously accepted the challenge. With great determination, Jim requested all the necessary details about the conference theme, duration, and audience expectation. Jim dove headfirst into his preparations. He used all the strategies that he had learned in his life to study better in that crunch time. Because time was of essence over here, he had to implement all the study habits so he can imbibe whatever he has to speak on the next day very quickly. And he not only worked on his study strategies but also worked on preparing his speech. As the sun rose on the much anticipated day of the conference, Jim arrived at the venue calm and composed. The nervous energy in the air was palpable, but Jim's unwavering confidence, his focus level, and his preparedness radiated through his infectious smile. The audience was mesmerized by his passion, wit, and genuine desire to help them unlock their hidden potential. As he closed his speech, a thunderous applause erupted throughout the auditorium. The audience rose to their feet, moved and inspired by Jim's key insight and practical tools. Jim was able to absorb a lot of learning out of his script in that crunch time, and he was able to deliver an effective presentation at the end of the day. So without further ado, let's begin with all of those strategies that will help us become effective learners in the long run. So let's begin with the first strategy, and that is take note of taking notes. Effective note taking is essential for customizing what you have learned and to retain all the essential concepts that you have learned. Here the author emphasizes 3 things: prioritizing relevant information, using your own words when you're preparing your notes, and going through your notes immediately after the study session. A research study by Damon Yeoman et al. Proposed the encoding hypothesis, which suggests that the act of taking notes itself enhances learning. The study found that students who took notes during a lecture or reading session showed better comprehension and retention compared to those who didn't. The second strategy is very strange but very effective, and that is the use of smell. Whatever we are smelling in the entire day is having a lot of impact into our memory and brain capacity. Certain scents like rosemary, peppermint, or lemon can enhance concentration and memory retention. Utilize essential oils or scents to boost your learning experience. A study by Wilander and Larson explored the connection between smell and memory. They found that odors can trigger vivid and emotional memories more effectively than any other sensory cues. The olfactory system is closely linked to the brain's memory and emotional centers. The third strategy that the author recommends is employing active recall. So, whenever you have studied one chapter, for example, close the chapter and try to recall whatever you have learned so you can understand what you're able to remember and what you're not able to remember. It shifts learning from passive recognition to active recollection, enhancing memory formation and retention. A study by Kwik and Blunt examined the effectiveness of using flashcards with active recall. They found that retrieval practice enhances long-term retention compared to restudying. Participants who actively recalled using flashcards were able to retain much more information after a week. The technique number 4 is employing spaced repetition. So what it means is that once you have studied one chapter from a book which you want to remember for a long time or before your exams, just take some amount of break, few hours, and then again try to recall what you have learned. This approach enhances learning and long-term retention by optimizing the brain's natural learning process. A study by Topino and Gerber 2014 investigated the implementation of spaced repetition in primary and secondary school classrooms. They found that spaced learning schedules enhance students' recall of historical events compared to mass learned schedule. The technique number 5 is manage the state which you are in. For example, if you're studying for half an hour and you want those concepts to be remembered, make sure that your posture is good, make sure that you're keeping an eye on your body language and your state of mind. It has to be positive and assertive while reducing all the distractions that surround you. A study by Oshner and Gross investigated that relationship between emotional regulation and cognitive control. The research found that individuals who effectively manage their emotions can better regulate their attention, decision making, and problem solving skills. The sixth technique is music for our mind. We all know how much better we feel whenever you're listening to music. So music has a direct relationship to our cognitive abilities and our brain function. Listening to Baroque music with its 50 to 80 beats per minute can enhance focus and information processing, making it an ideal study companion. Research by Lineman et al. 2015 investigated the stress-reducing effect of music. The study revealed that listening to relaxing music can lower cortisol level, a hormone associated with stress, leading to a calmer state of mind. The seventh technique is listening with whole of your brain. See, we all know that whenever we are listening, we are learning. So it has a direct relationship with the amount of learning and the amount of retention that is happening in our life. Fully engage with the speaker, practice active listening, and employ the HEAR technique, which stands for halt, empathy, anticipate, and review. This technique, the HEAR technique, enhances comprehension and memory formation. A study by Hackett et al. 2015 used functional magnetic reasoning imaging, MRI, to examine brain activity during active listening. The research found that when individuals actively engage in listening, multiple brain regions associated with language processing, attention, and memory are activated. I have shared 7 powerful techniques to enhance your memory and retention levels in your daily life. But all of these 7 techniques are very different and you do not know what will work for you. So keep trying and see what works for you and for your personality, for your surrounding, and for your situation. Thank you for joining me in this session where we talked about lifelong learning habits as shared by the book in Limitless